Hey everyone, it's Taylor, a realtor with the Slevin Real Estate Group here in Arizona, and welcome back to the channel. If you're thinking about buying your first home, first off,
Congratulations.
that's such an exciting season of life, but it can also be overwhelming. There's so much information online. Everyone's going to give you their opinions. Your uncle who bought a house in 1997 suddenly is going to become a real estate expert. And before you know it, you're more confused and overwhelmed than when you started. So today I have put together a list of the top 10 things that I wish every first time homebuyer knew before they start the process. These are the things that, from helping buyers purchase their first home, I think have made the biggest difference for them. All of them are going to help make the process a little less intimidating and a bit less overwhelming. Let's jump into it. Tip number one. Get more than one mortgage quote. This is probably the number one money saving tip on this entire list. Please don't assume that the first lender that you talk to automatically has the best deal. Mortgage rates vary, closing costs vary, and lending fees vary. Sometimes one lender is going to have a program that's the perfect fit for you, but another lender is not even going to offer it. Getting 2 or 3 mortgage quotes does not mean that you're being difficult. It means that you're being a smart consumer. Your mortgage is probably the biggest loan that you'll ever take out. It's worth spending an afternoon comparing options, comparing rates, and don't just compare the rate. Ask for a loan estimate so that you can compare the total costs, the monthly fees, the payment amount, and make sure that you fully understand what it looks like to work with that lender. Sometimes the lowest rate doesn't actually end up being the best deal, but take a look at the whole picture, make sure that you understand, and ask that lender as many questions as you want to make sure that you're making the right choice. Tip number two, start earlier than you think you need to. One of the biggest misconceptions I hear is, I'll call a realtor when I'm ready. No. Call before you're ready. Buying a home isn't something that usually happens overnight. It's something that takes time. Maybe you need to improve your credit. Maybe you need to save some more for your down payment. Or maybe you're just closer than you thought you were and you don't actually have to wait another 6 months. But the earlier that you start having that conversation, the more prepared that you are when the right house comes along and available for you to purchase. I would much rather meet with somebody 6 months too early than 6 days too late, because then we actually have time to game plan. We can create a plan that works for the buyer and we're not constantly trying to rush through everything. Buying a home should feel fun. It should not feel like you're cramming for a test tomorrow with no information. So call that realtor early, call your lender early, and start to create a game plan when you first start thinking about buying a new home. Tip number three, down payment assistance programs do exist. A lot of people assume that they don't or don't even know what they are, and it's because they're not commonly talked about items. So I get it. But you shouldn't go into the first time home buying experience assuming that you have to bring in 3 to 5% down payment. The reality is that there's multiple programs out there that can help with this. So if down payment is the number one thing that's withholding your home buying opportunity, then talk to your realtor, talk to your lender, and see if there's a program in your area that might be able to help. Every state is different, every program has different requirements, but something might be able to help you. Some of them have income limits. Some of them require that you take an education class. Some have repayment requirements and may not be the best fit, but again, it's an option for you should you need it. The important thing to know is don't assume that you do qualify for these programs. They all have different requirements, so make sure that you're asking your realtor and lending partners to see if you're eligible. Ask the question, and then at least you know, are you eligible or not? Does this program make more sense for you to do or not? If you are eligible, that could completely change your home buying process and could completely change your timeline for purchasing your first home. So it might be a great option or it might not, but ask. Tip number four, ask your realtor if they've helped buyers like you before. Not every transaction looks the same. If you're a first-time home buyer, ask if they've worked with first-time home buyers before. If you're purchasing using a VA loan, ask if they've worked with VA buyers. If you're using an SDA, USDA loan, if you're using anything specific, please make sure that you ask. Different loan programs have different timelines, they have different requirements, and it's important to know that your agent understands you as a buyer. And it's nice to know that they have experience in that area as well. You want someone who's familiar with your situation, and that experience really does matter. So don't be afraid to ask your agents. Interview them. You are not automatically hiring the first agent that you call. You should hire someone that knows how to guide you through the biggest purchase of probably your life. For most people, a home is the biggest purchase that you will ever make. So questions should be encouraged to your agent. If you're working with an agent that doesn't encourage you to ask questions, especially as a first-time home buyer, that agent may not be the right fit for you. So make sure that you're interviewing your agent to make sure that they are the right fit and the best option to help you through this process. Tip number 5. Talk to a realtor early to learn what's actually available. Pinterest and HGTV are wonderful. Social media, wonderful. Reality can actually be wonderful, but sometimes you fall in love with all of these homes online that aren't a reality in your area. I would love to purchase a colonial style home, but the reality is that in Arizona, we don't have very many of those. So if that was a number one requirement for me, I'm going to be severely disappointed when I go to start my home buying process. Talking to a realtor early about this can help you set realistic expectations so that you understand what is actually available in your area and what you should be shooting to purchase. Maybe you'll learn that there's another neighborhood that has everything that you're looking for that you weren't even considering, or there's another area that would be perfect for you that's not too far away from where you want to be. Maybe you'll realize that your dream home is actually possible. We just need to consider a few updates. But having a realistic expectation means that you're going into this understanding reality of what buying a home looks like, and you're going to save yourself from being disappointed. Having realistic expectations doesn't make the home buying process less exciting. It actually just makes it so much more enjoyable because you're looking at homes that could realistically become yours. Tip number 6, ask your lender what you can improve before buying. Here's something that a lot of people don't realize. Your lender can often tell you what you can do to strengthen your application. Maybe paying down a credit card would increase your buying power. Maybe avoiding opening a new loan would help. Maybe you save a few more $1,000s and that might make a noticeable difference. That timeline might shift to be a little bit longer till you're actually prepared, but your overall buying power could go up, which means that you could be buying your dream home. Or maybe you don't have to change anything at all. Wouldn't that be nice? The point is, don't guess, ask them. They look at this stuff every day. They are the experts in this field. Don't assume that you know based on AI or some family member's advice to you that you know exactly what you need to do. They know. They are going to be able to provide you this knowledge and give it to you as an advantage. They are there as your partner to help throughout this process. So don't underutilize them. Make sure that you're having this conversation to understand how to put your best foot forward when buying your home. Tip 7, stay open-minded. This is one of my favorites because almost every buyer starts this process with a dream list. 4 bedrooms, huge backyard, quartz countertops, 3-car garage, walk-in pantry, mountain views, 5 minutes from work, and somehow still under budget. It's not to say that this house doesn't exist, but buying your first home does usually involve some compromise. Maybe the kitchen's a little outdated. Maybe the backyard needs some work, or the paint needs touching up or redone. These are all things that can change. Location can't, floor plan usually can't, and lot size can't. Try to focus on the things that really matter most, and don't let those cosmetic things get in the way of you seeing a great opportunity. Paint can be replaced, carpet can be replaced, ugly light fixtures that have been offending people since the 80s can absolutely be replaced. These are all cheaper fixes that you can do to make that home what you want it to be. So don't let those small things keep you from seeing a great opportunity of a house that might be the perfect fit for you. Tip number 8, run a household budget before you buy a house. I know this one's not super exciting, but I promise it's one of the most important things that you can do. Just because a lender tells you that you can afford to buy a $500,000 home, I actually don't recommend that you go with the maximum amount of home purchase. It's usually not actually affordable when you equate in your lifestyle as well. That amount doesn't necessarily mean that you should spend that amount. Think about your monthly lifestyle. Do you like to travel? Do you have kids that are in expensive sports? Do you need money for hobbies, or do you like to eat out? You want to make sure that these things are being built into your monthly budget so that you can understand the amounts that are being spent on them. Buying a house doesn't mean that you should be stressed every month because every dollar is already spoken for. Run the numbers honestly. Make sure that you're equating everything that you're currently paying for and then looking at what the new mortgage payment would be so that you can understand what actually feels comfortable for you. Make sure that you're not buying a house just to become house poor and losing your lifestyle because of it. Tip number 9 is something that I feel like is widely underutilized. Make sure you're on the same page with your household before you start looking at new homes. If you're buying a home with a spouse or a partner, have this conversation before you start touring homes. What is the most important things to the both of you? Is it location? Is it schools? Is it commute distance? Is it the yard price? Is it the condition of the home? Any of these things can be the most important. There's nothing wrong with any of them, but we want to make sure that you're both on the same page about what you're looking for in this first home. I promise it's so much easier to have these conversations when you're sitting on your couch or standing in your living room than it is standing in somebody else's home when you're now arguing because one of you loves it and one of you doesn't. It is heartbreaking as a realtor to see one person in the relationship pushing for a home that they think is perfect when the other person doesn't think so because they didn't have this conversation to start. So make sure you talk, know your priorities, create a list and rank them. What's most important, 1 through 10 for each of you, and then talk about what's your non-negotiables individually and how do we come up with a solution of a home that fits for both of you. Assuming that you both want the same thing is where a lot of buyers get in trouble. If you have this conversation, it makes your decision making so much easier and it makes it so much simpler to find the right home once those homes start becoming available on your search. So have the conversation and have it early so that you can start talking about what's the best home for you in the future. Last but not least, tip number 10, never walk into a new build without your realtor there with you. This one is so important and is so widely unknown. Model homes are beautiful and I understand the draw to go walk them. It's super fun. They look great. They have all the incredible finishes. Sometimes they'll even offer you snacks. But if you're working with a realtor, don't stop in to that new build without talking to your realtor first. The reality is that a lot of times these builders have registration requirements that say that your realtor has to be there with you the very first time that you attend a model home or go to this community. If they aren't there, they generally aren't allowed to work with you if you choose to purchase a home in that community. And it is so, so important to have a realtor on your side when purchasing a new build. You want somebody who is on your side, not working for the builder. The agent for the other side is working for the builder. The sales rep that you're going to talk to in the beginning is working for the builder. They have the builder's best interests in mind. You want somebody in that transaction that has your best interests in mind. And that's what a realtor is going to do for you. And a lot of the times, having a realtor on your side does not require that you're paying them the commission. The builder's still going to handle that in most cases. You want them there. So make sure that before you go to that new build, before you go walk the model homes, text your realtor, call your realtor. If they're not in town, maybe they can make a phone call to that builder to pre-register you with them so that even if you do go without them, you can still work with them in the future. I promise you're going to want that realtor on your side if you do choose to buy a home in that community. And even if it's 6 months early, these builders keep records and they will not allow you to work with these realtors in most cases. So make sure that you're being smart when you're going to tour a new build or a model home. You're gonna appreciate it. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you're buying or selling real estate, as always, my partner Shauna and I are posting weekly videos to make your real estate journey a little easier to navigate. If you're buying or selling in Arizona, we would love to help you personally. If you're out of state, we can still help connect you with a trusted realtor in your area. So whether you're buying or selling or just here to learn, we're super glad you're here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.